Hey fam, today I was criticized for my introduction to these videos saying, hey sixth graders, good morning sixth graders. So I'm gonna keep it fresh and decide on some different ways to begin my videos so they are not lame, as I've been told. It is Wednesday. We're working on box plots again. Unlike yesterday, we're not going to be creating box plots. We're going to be looking at box plots and answering some questions on them. So go ahead and pause the video to fill out the PDN. Come on back when you are done. Okay, first step, as always, put them in order from least to greatest: 19, 20, 22, 24. Oh, no, no, 24, 26, another, get that right, 26, another 26, 27, 28, 30. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which means the middle is right here. This one in red. Middle is right in between the 26 and 26. What's in between 26 and 26? 26. Upper quartile would be right here in between 27 and 28, which is 27.5. Lower quartile between 20 and 22, which is 21. Highest value is 30. Lowest value, probably someone cheap like Ariane, 19. We're ready to put those numbers into our box plot. Remember that we double click our box plot, draw a line at the median, which was 26. Draw a line at the upper quartile, which is 27.5, 27, 28, halfway between is right about there. Draw a line at the lower quartile, which is 21. Try and make them straight. Connect our boxes. Connect our boxes. Make a dot at our highest value. Highest value was 30. Lowest value was 19. Dots look a little off, but that's okay. Draw a line from the dot to the box. Line from a dot to the box. And we're good. Save and close so that that shows up on your PDN. And then I can just check here to see if they're the same as here. Okay. Today we are not creating box plots, although you will do some more of that later this week and next week. We spent the last 2 days making the box plots, and we've now spent 4 days working on median, upper quartile, and lower quartile. Today we're going to go in the opposite direction. I'm going to give you the box plot and you need to answer it. Here's some things we need to remember. Middle line is our median. Over here, right-hand side, is our upper quartile. This is also called the third quartile. So I mixed it in today's classwork. Sometimes I call it upper quartile. Sometimes I call it third quartile. You need to be ready and familiar with each. This is called the lower quartile, sometimes referred to as the first quartile. So if I'm talking about the first quartile, I'm talking about the lower quartile. Of course, we have our minimum and our maximum. The other thing that I mentioned earlier in the week is the breakdown of this. 25% of the data falls in each section. So between the minimum and the lower quartile is 25%. The reason we call it quartiles, quarter, 25, this is 1/4, 1/4 of the data falls here. 25% falls between the lower quartile and the median. 25% falls between the median and the upper quartile, and 25% falls between the upper quartile and the maximum number. Now, you are going to get questions on this today, so we want to be super careful with it. All we need to know is 25% here, 25% here, 25% here, 25% here. Now, it could also ask you what percent is between here and here. What percent is between the first quartile and the third quartile? Well, if this is 25 and this is 25, that means 50% is here. What percent is above the first quartile? Well, above the first quartile. First quartile starts here. 25%, 50%, 75. So I'm doing 25 plus 25 plus 25 gives me 75%. So we have to be able to break down the box plot in any way like that. So let's look at some example. The accompanying box plot represents the cost in dollars of 12 albums, okay? What is the cost of the upper quartile, okay? Got to think about which line is the upper quartile. This is the upper quartile. If I bring my line down, I know that that's $26. So my answer for this one is $26. What is the range of cost of the CDs? Now, range, we have to think back now 2 weeks. To find the range, we do the highest value minus the lowest value. Well, I know the highest value is 29. I know the lowest value is 5, 6, 7. So 29 minus 7 gives me the range of $22. All I'm doing is the biggest number, the maximum number, minus the smallest number, the minimum number. What's the median? Okay, as I look here, and if I bring this line exactly down, it actually doesn't fall on a line. It falls between 20 and 21. So what's in between 20 and 21? I'm going to estimate $20.50. In between 20 and 21 is $20.50. What percent of the data cost between $14.50 and $26? Okay, $14.50 is right here. That's my lower quartile. $26 right here, that's my upper quartile. So what percent of the data falls between this line and this line? Okay. Well, I know 25% falls in here and 25% falls in here. So 25 plus 25 gives me 50% of the data. Half of the data is going to fall in this box in between here and here. There's 25 over here, 25 over here, which would get us up to 100, but this is 25 and 25 together gives me 50. What percent of the CDs cost less than $14.50? Okay, $14.50 is here, which is my lower quartile, so it's asking less this part of the graph. What percent is this part of the graph? It's 25%. Each section of the graph is 25%. That's why we call them quartiles. Just like the last couple days, I'm going to go over answers to practice set 1. I'm not going to go over to answers to practice set 2 because I want to see how you're doing on your own. I'll leave all comments on your classwork for practice set 2. Pause the video, do practice set 1. I'm going to leave these notes up in case you need them. Do practice set 1 and come back when you're ready to check your answers. Okay, I want to point out again, because this is going to come up several times today. Upper quartile is the same as saying third quartile. Lower quartile is the same as saying first quartile. Those things are synonyms, so we need to be able to interpret both of them. What is the highest score on the test? I would go here. The biggest number is 102. Even though there isn't a number line, I know that this on a box plot represents that. What percent of the class scored above a 72? Okay, 72 is right here, and it's looking for all that's above. Well, I know this section is 25%. I know this section is 25%, and I know this section is 25%. So what percent of the class scored above a 72? 25, 50, 75. 75% of the class scored above 72. What's the median score? All that's asking me to do is interpret this graph. Which line is the median? Remember that the middle is median. So the median is 88. And what percent of this class scored between 88 and 96? 88 is right here. 96 is right here. So I know that this section of the graph is always 25% because each section of a box plot is 25%. What's the value of the third quartile? This is where it was important that you needed to recognize third quartile, same as saying the upper quartile. So that's this line right here. This line is at 11. So my answer is 11. What is the median score? Okay, this line right here is the middle. This comes down to 7. So the median is 7. Again, it's just interpreting what each of these lines mean. What percent of the values are less than 4? Okay, 4 is right here, which is the lower quartile. So what percent is less? What percent falls between this and the bottom number? I know that each section of the graph is 25%. The answer is going to be 25%. And then what's the range of the data? Okay, so I have to go to the biggest value, which is 12, the smallest value, which is 2, and subtract them. 12 minus 2 means that the range of the value is 10. I am not going to go through the answers in this video for practice set 2. I will give you feedback on your classwork if you have any of them wrong. So go ahead and do practice set 2, and then you can jump right down to the exit ticket. There's actually 4 questions on the exit ticket today because this is a little bit of a quicker lesson. As always, if you have questions, if you're unclear about something, give me a text or a call, 847-769-4731, or you can join our Zoom meeting at 11:15. Hope to see you guys there. Hope everything is going well. I miss you, and we'll be back here tomorrow where I will have another creative and awesome greeting so I don't just say, good morning, 6th graders. Okay, see you guys tomorrow.